Did you forget how to talk?
What's happening, everybody? I'm like, I don't even know if anyone's going to come watch us because usually I set up the show because we have to figure out all of our numbers for the week. So we do it Sunday morning, and then I get it all together, and then I post it to the Boss Facebook group. And then literally 5 minutes before the show started, I hear Vikki yelling, "Did you even post it in the group? Did you even post it in the group?" And I was like, whoops, after I harassed you to get me numbers. And I didn't even post it. So at least we've got some people who are here to hang out with us. Hello, everybody.
Thanks for popping in.
Welcome back. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. We've missed a few Sundays. It's summertime. We got stuff going on. I went back to Oregon a couple weekends ago to see my sister, but also to see my grandma and my mom. I didn't get to see my grandma or my mom because both facilities that they're in were on lockdown, which
literally happened
really
the day before the trip.
Yeah, but I did get to see my sister and hang out with my sister, Binky the Binkster, so that was really nice. And then last weekend, we were intending to do the show, but then we decided at the last minute, like, hey, let's get the heck out of Dodge, and we took a little road trip to Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really fun, and we called up our friends Deb and Mel and said, come hang out with us in the pool. And
she sells Resell right there.
There you go. And so I totally teased Deb by basically throwing them under the bus, like they're the reasons that we canceled the show. We were going to Long Beach on our own, and then we asked Deb and Mel to come hang out with us. Okay, so it's not their fault. All right, guys.
Nobody
death threats.
Nobody be mad at them.
Okay.
They just happen to live real close to where we were going.
Yeah.
So we were like, hey, come and hang out with us for the day. And it was fun. And we had a good time.
It was super fun.
We did a little thrift shopping or window shopping more than thrift shopping because it was a little pricey, mostly high retail prices. But we had fun. We had some good Mexican food.
I ate 1.5 pounds of king crab legs, which was pretty awesome.
It's true.
Because I love me some seafood. Anyway, so we took the last couple weeks off, and then we are back today to do our show. And anyway, if this is your first time joining us for some reason, I don't know. Welcome. I'm Katy.
It was also our 4-year anniversary last week.
It was. That is true. So. But first, let me tell them, I'm Katy. Oh. This is Vikki, a.k.a. Victoria, a.k.a. the Pink Lady, a.k.a. Sassy McSasserson, a.k.a. the Roller of Eyes, a.k.a. my fiance. How do you feel about that?
The Roller of Eyes.
It's true. Listen, Cheryl, we've been working too. We just took a couple weekends off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so it's been a busy summer. Couple things going on. First of all, if you've been watching us during our sporadic shows, August 1st, we decided we needed to lose some weight. How's that going for you? It's going. Yeah. I've lost like 17 pounds so far.
I'm almost 14.
Yeah.
Almost 14 pounds.
Yeah. So we feel pretty good about that. We've been doing really pretty well with eating healthy. And luckily you have a live-in
chef. A live-in chef.
No, yes. I'm not really a chef, but I do like to prepare meals. And so I tease her and say, how does it feel to just have like a meal magically appear in front of you? It's pretty nice, isn't it?
It's pretty good.
Anyway, so we've been doing that, trying to be more active. We got our little Fitbits going on and just trying to eat healthy. I think one of the biggest parts that's like really helped us is drinking tons of water because you're especially bad at it normally. But I feel like this time it's been easier to do than past times we've tried because we're drinking crazy amounts of water.
It's true. It's actually, I'm going to be one of those people. So I never drink enough water. I am a coffee drinker. And then like Diet Pepsi, and then maybe a juice drink here or there, or Diet Coke. Anyway, I'm terrible at drinking water. I always have been.
But even if she was like doing all of her water drinking with Diet Cokes, she's bad even at that. Like she would have a cup of coffee in the morning and like 5 sips off a Diet Coke in the afternoon.
Yeah. So Katy used to joke with me and say, like, if they're gonna cut me open when I die, and it's gonna be like a puff of dust is gonna come out because I'm so dehydrated all the time. So anyway, I didn't drink a ton of soda. I just didn't drink a ton of liquids in general. I'm living in the desert. That is always bad. So I constantly had like some low grade dull headache because I was probably always freaking dehydrated. Anyway, I've gotten to the point where we've been doing this now for almost 6 weeks, and I'm drinking about 100 ounces of water a day, every day for 6 weeks.
And man, it's like the more you drink, the thirstier you are. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's weird.
Right.
And not only is it the thirstier I am, it is, I don't want to drink anything else. Everything else tastes disgusting. Soda tastes disgusting to me now.
Yeah.
Can't even drink it.
Soda doesn't taste disgusting to me. Like occasionally when we go out to eat, I'll still have soda, but it's not when I'm at home. I'd rather have water. But so I will agree that it's just not as exciting to me. But Kelly says that she lost 20 pounds when she gave up soda. For me, what helps is that I'm not drinking beer. Like there's been a couple, I had a few beers when I was home with my sister. When we went to Long Beach last weekend, I had a few beers, but for the most part, but we were super active over there. We were walking a lot. And so that's helped a lot. So yeah, I feel like, we've got, like 48 days till the Boss Reseller remix. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I want to do like another 15 pounds. Only because I've got the clothes that I really like that I think I look good and stuff like that, like fit really well, like when I'm like about that weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I'm t-shirts are fitting me better.
I'm thinking I'll probably get another 15 pounds off before then too, but that's about it. So you're still going to get me fluffy. Sorry, guys. That 15 pounds is not going to be enough, but it'll be about halfway to where I want to be.
But I've got so many cool t-shirts where I'm like, oh, this fits me better again. Yeah. So I don't have to wear the same ones over and over again. Well, I'll still probably do that, but anyway, so that's been going. And speaking of the Boss Reseller Remix, things are still going on, guys. Planning is still happening. I will say this week, we booked the Troy, I guess it's like the Troy nightclub, Troy bar. It's at the Golden Nugget. We booked it for our meet and greet. It's going to be on the 18th, which is the night before the Boss Reseller Remix officially starts. And so we'd already said the Golden Nugget for the meet and greet. So it is going to be there, but we officially booked.
We have a private nightclub upstairs, which has a patio that overlooks Fremont Street.
Yeah. So it's got an outdoor patio. And you can see all the fun. You can see the people go flying by on the zip lines, the Slotzilla zip lines. So we're pretty stoked about that. It's normally closed on that night, but we booked it for our meet and greet. So it's going to be pretty cool, guys.
We have it for a whole 4 hours.
So that's going to be awesome. Cheryl says, let's talk red carpet. How fancy. Listen, this is how I feel about it. It's as fancy as you want to be, but what I think is fun, I mean, it doesn't have to be like fancy, like you're wearing an evening gown. It could be fancy, like you can be in a costume or wearing something silly. Like
you could wear your pajamas.
You wear whatever you want. Wear whatever you want. I think it's the opportunity
whatever
to be fun.
You want.
And the Posh Kings are going to be doing a live streamed red carpet kind of thing where they're going to interview people, and that's going to be on their Instagram, which they've got like 150K followers on there. So I think like dressing up silly or in a costume or something fun would be cool, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, whatever you want to wear. I know the Posh Kings are going to be extra because that's what they're known for, which I think is fantastic. I know that there are some people that are really busting it out. I know that I am dressing up. I don't normally dress up, and it's given me an occasion to do that. I haven't dressed up in a couple of years, so I'm looking forward to dressing up.
Yeah.
As far as the event itself, I'm wearing like jeans and t-shirts for the conference itself. Like it's normal. Like if you've been to eBay Open, it's jeans, t-shirts, and I don't care what kind of shoes you want to wear because this is not the casino. You're not going to be doing as much walking, so it's not like dress comfortably. But as far as the event, I don't care what you wear. Wear the same thing you wore at the conference. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever you want to wear.
I'm just saying.
We just wanted to do something fun and silly.
It'd be fun to be fun. Okay.
And I think a lot of people haven't had an excuse or a reason to dress up and and wear something fun or silly in a while. So we're trying to give you an excuse.
All right. So that's how, as far as things go with the remix. Now, if you have not gotten your ticket yet, there are still tickets available, but we do want to say that October 1st is going to be the deadline if you want to get a t-shirt. We've already been putting together our swag bags. We're working on getting some great stuff in the swag bags. And one of the things that you get when you get a ticket and you come is you get a t-shirt. And if you, I think we're going to be selling tickets up until the 10th of October if we still have any left. But the 1st is the cutoff as far as being able to get a t-shirt.
Right.
So,
if you buy a ticket after the 1st, you can still come to the event. You just won't get a t-shirt. You'll get everything else, just not the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Because I have to give the t-shirt order into the guys to make the t-shirt for us to have,
Anywho. All right. So, and then one last thing before we get into everything. We've been moving some stuff around the house, getting some stuff ready because there's something is happening this week. We're having a visitor come later today.
My kid.
What?
Hopefully she'll still be here next Sunday. If she is, I'm going to force her to be on the show next Sunday for a little bit. If any of you guys have been watching us for a while, she did have a brief appearance like 2 years ago for like half a second. I think she ducked in and ducked back out. But I'll make her come and stay.
But why is she coming?
I'm doing inventory.
Well, now what do you call inventory? Because there's different kinds of inventory.
So here's the thing. So anybody that knows me knows that I don't do inventory. People ask questions in the group. People ask questions on the show. I will tell you who to talk to for inventory, and that would be Teresa or Liz O'Kane. Do not talk to me about inventory. Do as I say, not as I do, because I don't do inventory. I have not done inventory since I moved here. I've lived here for over 8 years. I've never done a physical inventory.
Until this week, and what's going to happen?
Until this week. I've actually hired my child to come, and she is going to be staying here until it's done. It might take a week, might take 2. And I'm paying her very well, mind you, to do a complete physical inventory for me. Yes, Greg, hell has absolutely frozen over.
Now, the way you've decided to approach it, though, is everything is supposed to be listed on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Like, you've got stuff on other selling platforms, but everything is supposed to be on eBay. And I think any of us who sell on eBay know that eBay is kind of the platform that's known for stuff just dropping off and disappearing. So the way you were approaching it, and this is the way I would too, if I were to do something like take inventory, if I were, you're basically going to have her check go through each and every item systematically and check to see that it's on eBay. And if it's not, it's going to be set aside. And hopefully at least some of that stuff will be listed on your other platforms. So you'll be able to just cross-post it back onto eBay. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure there's probably some stuff from back in the day that was never put on other platforms, had already fallen off of eBay, that you were basically going to have to rephotograph and redo again. Or I guess Crystal's going to have to do it, but unless it's a hard good. Mm-hmm. So it's basically kind of your approach.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, so I'm envisioning finding several hundred items. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep track. I'll let you know in a few weeks.
What's your total inventory right now?
My total inventory is about 3,600 items. And everything should be listed on eBay, about 3,600 items. She is going to physically have to put her hands on every single solitary item and match it up on eBay. It's not going to be easy. Don't get me wrong. This is going to be a pain in the ass.
Here's the deal, guys. Not in the comments, but in the, not in the chat, but in the comments down below, which means you got to wait till after the show. In the comments down below, make a guess for how many items have fallen off of her eBay. Now remember, she's got, how many did you say again? 30 what?
3,600.
3,600 items listed. How many items do you think that have fallen off of her eBay store? And whoever is the closest to that number, we will send you some sort of prize. We'll send you something. We'll send you some swag.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? So comment down below after the show is no longer live. Comment down below with your best guess for how many items you think have fallen off of eBay. We will come back and let you guys know, and we will pick whoever was the closest guess. They're gonna win some swag, and not just like one thing. We'll put together. A swag package.
I'll send you some
good stuff.
Maybe it'll be my unlisted shit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
We'll see, but that'll be a fun little contest. Okay.
My guess is that I think it's going to be probably at least 300 items.
Okay.
How will I organize my inventory? Good question, Valerie. Valerie, my inventory will probably stay organized the same as it is now. I might slightly shift some things because I already know where everything is. It's already in very easily accessible organizational area, if that makes sense. Like, I know where everything is now. I don't do bins and boxes and things like that because a lot of my inventory is hanging. So I can't do the way a lot of people do, like in the bins and boxes, like the way Teresa and Liz do, because I have so much inventory. It doesn't work that way for me. And you can't hang things like that. And I have a lot of huge jackets and things like that.
We're just not into organizing things like that.
No. It also, like, I have huge jackets, so I would be able to fit like one per box. Like that doesn't work for a lot of things. So a lot of my stuff is hanging. I also have about 50 big totes, and then I have shelving. I just keep like items together, so I know where everything is. I don't. I do have my bins labeled that I do have. But they're not labeled numerically. They're labeled by like items and size. Right. So yeah, I won't be changing the way I do it. I'm just going to physically do an inventory so that, and maybe I won't do another one again for another freaking 8 years. Who knows? But
I think that's highly likely. All right. For sure. And real quick, shout out to Jessica in Long Beach. When we went to Long Beach, we stayed at a hotel right near the water, and we had an awesome time. But we did realize it was a lot of chain restaurants around, so we did put the call out for where the heck is there good to eat that's not a freaking chain restaurant, because we can go to all those places here. And Jessica hit us up and told us to go to, what was the name? Well, she can say it in the chat.
The Mexican place that was Lola's. It was fantastic.
It was on, they call it Retro Row on this 4th Street, I think, or 4th Avenue. And seriously, it was so good. And it was different from any other Mexican place. So they used different flavors. It was good.
It was really
good. Lola's. Yeah. So thanks to Jessica, and shout out to her. And then one last shout out. You had something that you were supposed to
I did. So one of the things I talked about was I was joking with you guys a couple weeks ago. The last show I did, one of the things I had picked up were those, those Uggs that were my thugs, the fake Uggs that I had picked up. I had paid like $15 for them. One of our viewers had actually offered to purchase them from me. I sold them to her for what I paid for them. She just bought them plus shipping for herself. Because I wasn't going to list them because they were fake. They were good fakes, but they were still fake. She wanted them anyway for herself. So I'm not out any money on them. She's happy. She got a good deal. They fit her, all that stuff. But she wanted me to say happy birthday to her, or was happy 8th birthday to her son, Nicholas, who watches the show.
Oh, hello, Nicholas.
So it happened to be his birthday 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry we didn't do a show. We haven't done a show.
You haven't done one yet.
So happy belated birthday, Nicholas. I appreciate that we have an 8-year-old fan that watches the show.
I like late birthday wishes because it's like it extends your birthday, especially when you're a kid and it's like your birthday's over and you're like, oh man, but now he gets to have a little extra, a little extra birthday pizzazz, a little
extra birthday
a couple weeks later. So all right, we're just about to get started here, but Bonnie, no, she's not going to be checking what's on eBay.
It's too hard to do reverse. Too much. It's too hard to do reverse. That's nearly impossible with this many items.
I mean, it could be done, but it would take way too long. And I think that the way that Vikki's doing it, I mean, I don't feel like that happens very often. That it doesn't happen often enough that there's an issue with it that it would be.
Yeah, I mean, I have had things magically appear after selling. Absolutely, if you've been selling long enough, I think we've all had that happen as well. But it's nearly impossible to do it the other direction. It's hard to do it both ways when you have as much inventory as I do and you handle it the way that I do. So yeah, I'm going to do the best I can. Listen, guys, I'm doing inventory for the first time in 8 freaking years.
It's close enough.
Listen,
close enough.
Be happy. All right. All right.
All right. Let's go ahead and start the show for reals. 18 minutes in.
I know. Sorry, guys.
No, we had a lot of stuff to cover. So this is our regular Sunday show, Sunday live haul. We break it up into 3 parts. The first part, we look at our gross numbers for the week, our real numbers for the last week, and across all of our platforms. And then we break down our costs. That's from the fees, the shipping, our cost of goods, that kind of stuff, to kind of give you a general idea of how we've been doing in the last week. And then the middle part of our show, we look at some sales highlights. I think both of us have grabbed a few things from previous last couple of weeks since we haven't been around. Plus, because, my sales kind of terrible. Yours were good this week. Mine kind of terrible. And then the last part of the show is where we look at our haul. You got some stuff that you've picked up in the last week or two. Mm-hmm. I haven't sourced in a couple of weeks, but I had already set aside some stuff from my last big purchase that I hadn't shown in the last haul. So I do have some cool stuff to share with you guys. So that's basically how we're going to go about this show.
And let's get
started. So let's look at our numbers. Like I said, guys, you actually had a pretty good week.
I did. I had a good week.
I've had not a great week, but I will tell you guys, my numbers still continue because I have all these different platforms. Still way better than I was a few years ago when I was dependent entirely on eBay. If I were to depend on just eBay, man, I'd be in trouble. My last 31 days on eBay, I am below $4,000, which is, I think, the lowest I've been since I started selling full time. I don't remember me being below 4,000 in a very, very long time. And if I was only selling on eBay, I would be looking for a job because that's rough.
Like Teresa says, diversity is key.
It absolutely is.
I will tell you right now, this week is not the first week, but it is one of a few weeks that I think will continue in this direction. But my orders off eBay surpassed my orders on eBay, both in quantity and in everything, and in gross sales. So, I still love eBay. eBay is still, a 6-figure platform for me. eBay is no longer my only source of income and will never be again at this point.
And there's weeks where it's not even the number one.
It's not even number one anymore. And it is continuing to go down because every new and better platform that comes along takes away a little bit of eBay's market share. And that's just the reality. And the new and better platforms have learned how to do it better and have learned how to cater to a different audience. And that different audience seems to happen to find my items differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you have to, change what you're selling and change with the times and diversify your platforms in order to get your items in front of the proper buyer, whatever that platform may be. And that may be eBay for you, depending on what the item is. And it still is for me for a lot of things. I sell the same items on every single platform. I am listing the same items on every platform, I should say. So, and every buyer is finding me in different ways. So it is what it is.
Well, and I'm still grossing over, probably like 8,000 to 10,000 a month. So eBay being under 4,000, I can kind of be sigh a little bit and be annoyed, but I'm still doing just fine. But we need to address what Allison said in the chat. Apparently she fell off a ladder, and I'm like,
dislocated her shoulder. Why are you broken, Allison? What happened?
Yeah, she fell off a ladder doing something. Allison, knock it off. And I hope you're okay.
Listen, if you weren't so old, it probably wouldn't be so hard to pop that shoulder back in.
Allison, I'm probably guessing. I'm guessing here that Vikki probably should not be going in this direction because she knows she's going to get it back tenfold from you. So you had your moment of feeling pretty good about that little jab there, but you're going to regret it soon, I think.
Listen, she's been saying it. I got a text message.
Nope, you stop it.
I'm betting that's from her already.
Nope. You stop it. All right, let's go ahead. Allison, knock it off. Quit hurting yourself. And let's go ahead and look at numbers. Okay, so, 14 eBay orders, guys. Come on, that's embarrassing. 14 eBay orders. This is last Sunday through yesterday. I'm on Thrilling now, as is Vikki. Vikki's doing a lot better than I am. It definitely is more, it's all vintage clothing. It's more women-centric, I would say. But I think they're picking up more and more men's stuff. But 14 eBay orders, 15 between Etsy and Thrilling. 2 of those are Thrilling, 1 Instagram, and then 3 Grilled and Mercari orders. So total 33 outgoing orders. eBay gross sales, $809.81. Etsy and Thrilling together, $953.95. I will say my Thrilling is about $120. So Etsy actually beat eBay this last week. Etsy, that's a pretty good week. eBay, that's a very sad week. Instagram, $75, and then Grilled Mercari together, $273. So my total gross sales, I still made it over 2,000. So whatever, I'm fine with that. $2,111.76. My shipping, not that bad, $135.10. And you can see the breakdown of my fees, and then my cost of goods, $425. My net total sales, $1,336.86. My gross average sale price, $63.99. I like to hit 70 and above, but I'm not going to be picky about it right now. And my net average sale price, $40.51. So I am ready.
That's a sad week.
It is a sad week. I'm ready for a real fourth quarter. I'm hoping that this year is much different than last year's fourth quarter. It's going to be interesting to see. I feel like some people are better off than they were last year, or maybe at least a little bit more confident in their income. And then there's also the fact that they're saying a lot of stuff is going to be sold out this fourth quarter
So
because of manufacturing.
which may make people shop online and shop differently this year.
So who knows?
Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows? All right, let's look at Vikki's because hers looks a lot better than mine.
This was a good week. Finally, last week and this week, I've had 2 good weeks in a row. Stuff starting to pick up for me. So I had 32 eBay orders. I had 5 on Etsy and 10 on Thrilling.
That's crazy. We'll talk about Thrilling here in just a second, guys, after we get through these numbers. But
so I had 10 on Thrilling. The previous week, I had 14 sales on Thrilling. So I am in my 3rd week on Thrilling. This is just my 2nd full-time week on Thrilling. And I had 18 Poshmark orders and 3 Macari and 1 Instagram sale for a total of 70 orders for the week. eBay $1877.75, Etsy $392.72, Thrilling was $630, Poshmark $541, Macari and Instagram combined were $263 for a total gross for the week $37.0. Oh, you got me. You forgot to add in the, all right.
No, I added it for you.
263 plus the 35 on Instagram. Yeah. Sorry. So a total 37, 39, 47 for the week.
Very good.
Shipping $248, which is great. You know, Poshmark, they pay for shipping. Thrilling, they pay for shipping. So those were 2 big, platforms for you this week. So you've got eBay fees, Etsy fees, Poshmark fees, Macari fees. Where did you put the fees for Thrilling? Did you put them in somewhere?
Well, yes, we do need to get a new thing. What I had told you before is that the fee, I added it in with Etsy because Etsy is 8.5%. Thrilling's 10%, but they pay for your shipping. So I figured that kind of evened out because you're only getting
right because Etsy charges you 8.5% on your shipping as well. So,
but you're getting a free shipping label when it comes to Thrilling, which we'll talk a little bit more later. But yes, we need a new form. But I don't know if it's all going to fit on one page. Jeez.
Anyway, it's close enough. Yeah. It's within a couple of dollars. So my cost of goods always pretty low, $217. My total net sales for the week, $28.18. My gross average sale price, again, I've told you guys it's been much lower this year than last because of the way that I'm sourcing. Mm-hmm. So $53.42 gross average sale price, net average sale price $40 and change.
All right. Not bad. Okay, let's go ahead and before we get into our sales highlights, why don't you explain really quick what Thrilling is?
So Thrilling is a boutique vintage website. That's it. It's a website that you have to apply to be able to sell on.
Shopthrilling.com.
You have to, I don't know how many shops they will approve or are going to approve. They've been going for just a little while now, not a year.
It's only vintage.
Only vintage, mostly women, only vintage clothing, shoes, and accessories like handbags and scarves and jewelry, that type of thing. Mostly women, but they do men's as well. Mm-hmm. The customers are not yours. They belong to that website. You apply to be a shop there. You have to have a vintage shop already. Like they want you to be on Etsy or on Depop or on eBay already. Or Grailed or whatever, something like that. If you're approved, they walk you through the process of creating a storefront with them. And then you have to download your items into a CSV file, the applicable items. And
if you're on Etsy, yeah.
Mm-hmm, and then you send them the file and they upload your items for you. They have to approve every single listing. Mm-hmm. They change your title, which is very annoying because their titles are terrible. However,
but you've made a ridiculous amount of money.
I've been doing well there already. Yeah. I've already sold about 25 items and I've been on there for less than 3 full weeks. And I've already made over $2,000. So
go ahead.
I'm perfectly happy, being on there. It's, when your item sells, they send you an email with a shipping label and an invoice to put in the package. You have no contact with the customer whatsoever. If the customer doesn't like the item and they return it to them. They eat the return.
And they like, I think they sell it wholesale on their
I
own
don't
site.
care what they do with it, but you don't eat the return. You get a, they send you the shipping label, they pay for the shipping label, and they charge 10%. I honestly don't know how the hell they're making money in that with that formula, but as of right now, that's what it is.
Yeah. They also have it in, I think, New York, I think Phoenix, maybe. There's like 3 or 4 in there. Portland.
And LA.
And LA, I think. They have physical locations where you can, if you're not selling on other platforms, especially, you can just you go source, you go drop it off. They do all the photography. They list it for you. They do pretty much everything for you. But that's only in like 3 or 4 cities right now. But I think they're expanding. So they might be making quite a bit more on that part of it. But yeah, it's like I'm not going to show you one of them on our solds. But one of the things I sold this week was like a Indianapolis Colts. Is that what it is? Indianapolis Colts puffy jacket, vintage puffy jacket. It doesn't have the hood on it. It was $80 on my Etsy. So they charged $80. They take 10% of that. Plus they sent me the UPS label for like a 3-pound item, which it's like, okay, they got less than $10 in fees from me. Plus they're buying a label. Plus they run sales. Like I saw one of their ads and they're like, for this weekend, 20% off of everything.
Well, you had to agree to
you had to agree to that? Okay, because I was kind of like going, how does that even work? But anyway, still, how much money are they making off my jacket that they had to pay for a 3-pound UPS label? Let's say it cost them $5. I mean, it couldn't have cost them less than $5. Could it have? I don't know, guys. But
I don't know, but I'm loving it. So yeah, it's not going to work for everybody, and it does take more time because you have to have your items listed elsewhere first, preferably Etsy, because the CSV file has to go to your personal account manager. It does take them a few weeks to upload the items for you and make them live. It took over a month for me to make my store live. And then I just actually sent about 200 more items. It'll probably take another 2 or 3 weeks for my account manager to make those live. You cannot manually add your own items. You can do them one at a time if you'd like, but they have to approve each and every one individually. And it's a pretty archaic back end method to do that. So it would probably be real annoying.
And there's no reason to. It literally took, because I had to help you with your CSV file, and it took us maybe 20 minutes?
Now I know how to do it. It'll take like 20 minutes.
Maybe 20 minutes to go through and pull just the items that were new for her to send in. So 20 minutes for like 200 items. And in the future, it might be more like 10 minutes for 200 items. Send it off to them and they do it for you. Like, why would you even bother cross-posting?
They're advertising the heck out of it. And it's really nice. Now, here's the thing. The reason why they have to approve every single item and every single seller is because they do not want the site flooded with shit. You have to be a good vintage seller. You have to have good quality items. And honestly, there are some items that I've seen up there that are somewhat questionable, but for the most part, everything is really nice. And no, it could very well be that.
I'm sure you're right. I mean, this is any new platform. They have to do something to bring in new people. And of course, some platforms will do a thing like with no fees at first. That's how Grailed started out, but eventually it does go up. So I'm sure once they get in their groove and once they've gotten to a certain point, I'm sure those fees will go up at some point.
Exactly. Facebook Marketplace had no fees last year when it started. When you started with shipping on Facebook Marketplace. So, eventually they're probably going to have to raise their fees. But even if they raised them to the point where they're 15 to 20%, like some of the other platforms, the fact that you have to do nothing, they do not accept returns, they pay for shipping.
You don't interact with anybody.
You don't interact with customers whatsoever. I've already had them message me once or twice with questions that a customer had, and both times the customer purchased the item. I didn't answer the customer. I send the answer to them, and then they relate to the customer, and the customer purchased. And then you don't have to deal with returns. Oh, and you're getting much higher prices there because it is a boutique and they advertise as such. So you're getting a certain type of clientele. You're not getting a bottom dweller posh twat, as I call them, because they're not trying to friggin', lowball you like 80% off. It's
if you have a decent amount of women's vintage, especially, definitely check it out. It's shopthrilling.com. It's not thrilling.com. You'll find some porn.
And there is absolutely no referral. No. Kimberly, no referral. I'm not getting a dime. There is no such thing as a referral code.
But if you have women's vintage, definitely go check it out. If you have men's vintage, check it out too. I'm just going to let you know that it's not going to be flying off the shelf as much as it is for women's stuff. but I'm hoping that marketplace will change and shift. But I'll tell you this, I'm already selling more on there than I do on Mercari, and it's even less work. So it's definitely worth it if you have a lot of men's vintage too.
I am LVPinkPeacock across all platforms. I changed it from Panther about 3 years ago now.
All right, so that is thrilling, and Vicki's going to show you, I think, like 4 of the items that she sold on there when we get into this next segment of looking at our sales highlights for this week. Like I said, I sold like 2 things.
Oh yeah, so it's Pink Peacock is if you want. Yeah, if you, it's not a I mean, I don't.
It's not a
get anything, but yes, if you want to put that you referred by me, sure.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll start with probably one of my favorite things that you've sourced in a very long time and sold. And I just want to say up front, guys, I'm a little disappointed that she didn't have more faith in the magic and majesty of this item, because I feel like she could have sold it for a lot more. And how long did it take you to sell this item before we show it? How many days? Like 3 days?
No, it was like 2 weeks, I think.
I thought you said it was like 3 days. I think you're a liar. But seriously, why would you sell this for so low? Look at it. It's magic.
Okay, so I had listed it at $59.95, and then like less than a week later, it rolled into my sale, because I think even at $59.95, I was stretching it. Rolled into a sale that I had at 30% off, and it sold at the sale price. This was that ridiculous thing I picked up at the bins that I showed you guys. It was just a basic white crew neck sweatshirt that somebody upcycled with a pair of freaking jeans. Like they turned the collar into jeans. Go back.
I love it.
It has the zipper.
It actually zips. But the thing is, it's really well made. It's just god awful and hideous, and also majestic at the same time, but really, really well executed.
It's ridiculous. It had the jeans down the side. It's just a basic sweatshirt.
Oh, there's nothing basic about this.
Good God, it was the most hideous.
I feel like
looking thing with the pocket sewn in the front. It was.
I feel like
I love the fact.
Shirt.
I love the fact that Crystal took such great pictures of this thing. She must have been laughing at it.
It looks amazing. Come on, should have been $100.
I could not, in good conscience, even price it higher. And I price my shit high, but I have no idea why. Anyway,
Dana, she didn't believe in it. Dana, she did not believe in it, and I feel I'm disappointed. She didn't get robbed. She did it to herself. I got robbed.
Crystal says, I actually put it on and was modeling it for Angel. Yeah. So I had actually, thank God I washed it, right? Well, it came from the bin, so I washed it. But yeah, it's the most redonkulous looking thing ever.
Oh, I love it.
Somehow she made it look cute on the hanger. I don't know how.
I just can't believe you didn't price it high, man.
It is heinous. And I will sell ugly. Don't get me wrong. Ugly sells, but that's
it was special. You should have just given it to me.
Beyond. I'm not even showing this because it sold for a lot, because it didn't. It only sold for $42.
Yeah.
However, I'm selling you because it's ridiculous. Then it did actually sell fairly quickly. I paid like $1 for it at the bins, $1.50 or whatever, based on weight. Yeah, it's
you made a big mistake. That's all I'm going to say.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Okay. Let's go. I don't have anything amazing and awesome like that, but I do have this Fred Flintstone t-shirt. Now, this I accepted an offer for $100. This one I paid I think $34. It had a hole. I actually think Crystal fixed it for me because it was a pretty big hole, and I was just like, it wasn't really the best place to have a hole, so there was a little bit of a repair there.
It was yellow. I can see the yellowing.
Yeah, and I'm sure I bleached it, but it's just kind of worn and faded. But anyway, so I was like $100. I paid $30 for it. Pretty much all my Flintstone stuff sells pretty well, but because this one had that particular hole in it, I was like, whatever, we'll get this out of here. But 30 into 100. What's this? What's this fancy thing? What's this fancy 9 to 5 dress?
Oh, this is one that I picked up from my weekly buyer that I buy from. I paid $4 for this. This is just vintage 80s, Brooks Brothers, maybe even early 90s, late 80s to early 90s, just business women's wear.
I feel like Jane Fonda 9 to 5 would have been wearing this.
She could have been. Although 9 to 5, she might not have been able to afford Brooks Brothers.
Oh, okay. Just the style anyway.
It's a silk blouse and skirt, very businesswoman with the bow. I know that bow's a lot, isn't it, Lori? But that's, Crystal's really good about making the bow look nice on the mannequin. I think that photo is a good photo.
Really
I think the bow sold it. It sold it. Anyway, so I paid $4. It sold for $91. If you want to scroll to find the tag so we can see it. Vintage Brooks Brothers, made in Korea. That's why I was 80s-ish. Larger size. It was tagged a size 14, but it measures as a current medium, so that's why the title says medium.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very
There
nice.
you go.
Anything else?
Nope.
Oh yeah, what's going on, guys?
That is hideous.
If you remember, probably like about a month or so ago, I actually got two of these
tacky.
shirts. I've got this one, and I think the other one is actually like on a motorcycle, but same kind of shirt, ridiculous shirt. But they both were sex wear shirts. Who is going to wear this out and about? I don't know. Probably the same person who's going to wear those Big Johnson T-shirts that I like to sell. But
inappropriate.
Again, I paid $30 for this one, and I took an offer for $100. I did take a lower offer, but I needed to make some money, you guys. It's so inappropriate.
See, Lori is just offended by everything we're showing right now. She's like, everything is ugly or hideous. She's like, oh my God.
I saw this. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like quintessential like 90s. Look at the guy's
hair.
Look at the guy's hair.
The mushroom hair.
It's like, no, just stop that. You just stop that. Inappropriate. Anyway, yeah.
It's a partner to the person that is wearing that denim upcycle thing.
Yeah, exactly. Lori said someone wearing that would make me run.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
The key word today is hideous. Yes. Yes, it might be.
Anyway, all right.
Get that off the screen. Jeez.
Go awful. Ahead. How about this one?
All right. More hideous, but actually Jam's World, as we know, Jam's World is super popular. This I picked up at a thrift shop in, where were we? I paid $15. I remember that. We went somewhere.
I don't know.
We had to walk up 5 flights of stairs to get to a bathroom.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And get a juice.
You sure remember some odd details.
I know. I want to say, I don't remember. It was somewhere where we went sourcing. I just can't remember what city it was. Might have been California, might have been Arizona. I don't remember. Might have been Seattle.
Who knows?
Who knows? Somewhere, because we've done a lot of sourcing this last year. We've been to a lot of cities. So anyway, I paid $15. It sold for $90. It was listed maybe about a month or so.
All right. Cool. All right. Where was Jam's World originally sold? Do you know?
Well, it's made in the USA. I think they had their own stores, honestly. It might have been right in Hawaii. It might have originated right in Hawaii. It's very popular. It's Hawaiian wear. It's cruise wear. So,
yep. All right. Next up, I've got this one I sold on Etsy. This D-Generation X wrestling T-shirt from the 90s. I've had this one for a little while, but I think I got this from yesterday's fits. Paid like $40 for it. So I've had it for a while, but it did sell on Etsy and it sold to Germany. But wrestling stuff, I'm not like super well versed in wrestling stuff. So it's like, I still have to do, look at comps and stuff like that, because there are certain wrestling things that sell for a ton and there's other stuff that doesn't. So it's like, you never really know. And this one definitely took a while to sell, but it sold for, let's look at the price here. It was on sale for 10% off at the time that this sold. So it sold for $89.99 and it went to Germany. So they paid $89.99 plus they paid for shipping. So I was super stoked about that. And again, I paid like $40 for it, sold it for $90 plus shipping. So, probably made more like $100 on it before fees.
All right.
Ooh.
This was a bins buy. I actually picked this up at the bins, and it was, and I'm not showing this for that reason specifically. This is just a vintage 60s. It has the shearling sheepskin lining. I'm picking this up because it was filthy. I picked this up. It was filthy. I paid, whatever, $3, $4, $5 based on weight. It's heavy. It's pretty heavy. It's suede, but I had nothing to lose. I washed this in the washing machine.
Holy cannoli.
So I picked this up and washed it in the washing machine, dried it in the dryer.
What?
And it came out clean.
Wow.
And it was disgustingly filthy, and sold it for $120 plus shipping. And I did charge for shipping because this sucker was heavy. It was like 4 to 5 pounds, and there was no way it was fitting in a poly mailer. It had to go in a bag, in a box.
That's the thing. When, sometimes it's like, it's so gross that it's not gonna really matter if you ruin it anyway, but it's worth the try. And then it pays off because this looks really good. Amazing. All right. Anything else?
No, we've talked about it before, like washing suede, washing leather. If it's not super valuable and if it's something you pick up cheaply and it's not worth listing or selling, if you can't clean it,
Right.
leather and suede is not worth cleaning professionally for the most part.
Yep.
If you have something that you're just going to redonate or throw away, or you get it cheaply enough and you want to just see if it's worth it, throw it in the washing machine.
Yep.
You have nothing to lose.
Yep. That's kind of how you learn what stuff, can be washed in what way, because a lot of times stuff that you've said this before, stuff that says dry clean only, it's wrong. It's all a bunch of baloney. Ooh, hello, Primeval Princess. I don't know if you guys remember this shirt. I've already sold this shirt before, and then I got another one of them, and I actually bought this from Rally Roots. They had it in their Etsy stories. I bought this one and 4 other t-shirts that were similarly themed. 80s, really cool 80s dead stock t-shirts on Screen Stars tags, all kind of small. Like this one I listed as a small, even though it says medium on the tag. But of course I do say, I'll show you, I do say slim to fit tag says medium, it measures more like a small, but then I'll actually put small in title and put it in the size. But anyway, I bought 5 t-shirts for $400, which ended up being averaging across as $80 per t-shirt, because I already knew that I could sell them for a bit more, and I think they're really cool. So this one I sold for $170. I guess I can show you on the little thing here. This one was actually, for this month, I'm doing a 15% off sale. And so I have this one listed for $200 and it ended up being $169.99. So again, I paid $80 for this, sold it for $170. I plan to sell all of the other shirts for minimum $150 up to $200 a piece. So I will make some money off of them. And they're just really cool shirts to have in my store. So again, I do pay up quite a bit for certain things if I know I can sell it. Next up for you. Ooh, what's this fancy thing?
So this is one that I just sold on Etsy. I think I paid $4 for this. I picked this up at a Deseret, so probably 4, maybe 6. That's their pricing on dresses, 4 or 6, one of the two. It's just really pretty vintage 70s dress. If you look at the back, I'm going to see if there's some more photographs of the back. It's just nicely draped. The only thing I will say, it ties in the back. It's pretty. This customer was such a witch in messaging.
Ooh.
I'm probably not even going to get good feedback. I almost canceled the sale because she was such a witch. She was so demanding I did give her a discounted price because she was asked if I could do a better price. And sometimes I will on Etsy, and I've had this for a while. So I did sell this. You don't have to look it up because I did sell it for $150 and it won't show that. I sold it for $150. And she was asking back and forth for a different price. And then she was super demanding and super rude in her messages. And before she purchased it, I was like, are you always this demanding in your messages when you're asking someone for a favor? And she was like, excuse me, blah, 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 blah. And then she ended up buying it anyway. I almost freaking canceled the order because I was like, such a bitch. And then I messaged her back super passive aggressively and said, thank you so much for your purchase and you're welcome for your deep discount. Enjoy your dress.
Are you done?
Yeah, done.
All right. Next up, I have some grailed stuff. I showed 2 things from eBay because the last 3 weeks I've sold nothing for really that much on eBay that's even noteworthy. But this one, I just wanted to show it because I will always buy anything airplane themed, airline themed. This particular one is a Lear jet, and I just love how it's like Lear gear, kind of like LA gear. Like it's like who's wearing the coolest streetwear Lear gear fashion. Anyway, I paid like $15 for this at yesterday's fits. It sold on Grailed for $87. Well, who are you giggling at?
Peace and cheap blankets. Sorry,
that's a reference to.
That's a reference to if you are not following Dana House of Rocks on Instagram, you need to be following her because Dana has taken lessons from Katy and her snarkiness. Katy will post about her rude comments to customers.
Not rude. It's how I respond to people who are basically jackasses. It's almost never on eBay. It's usually on other platforms. But people say the most ridiculous things, and I basically kind of troll them a little bit. I never fight with them because it's why even bother, but I do like to troll people a little bit, and it's kind of fun. And so I think
it's usually the bros on Grailed. Let's be real. That's who it is.
No, it's Mercari is where it happens. Mercari is the worst. But Dana had a customer who was real upset and kind of went crazy on her for.
She next leveled it a little. She did. It was a really good one.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You should go check it out. But yeah, she's on Instagram with that stuff. Anyway, got my Learjet shirt here again. I paid $15 for it and sold it for $87. So don't ever pass up cool sweatshirts like this, guys, or anything aviation, planes. But this one I think is especially cool. I think it's pretty cool. Next up, ooh, where'd you get this? Where'd you find this?
I got this at the bins.
How'd you find it?
You found it. The one time I dragged Katy with me to the bins.
Yeah.
I brought her with me on a Saturday. Did we go? I think we went on a Saturday one morning just for the heck of it. We hadn't gone in a while. This one was so hard to take pictures of. It was just this because it's, I don't know, it looks so faded. The pictures are terrible. As you can see, I took these photos.
Yep.
Anyway, you can see my freaking ring light in it. Whatever.
Like, I don't even care.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Whatever. The atomic starburst was a little busted. You can see up close one of the little things. I yoinked
this right out of the bins.
I think I paid $5 for it because they priced it separately, not by.
It's pretty cheap, but it's cool.
But it was really cute. And so the buyer paid $50 shipping, but all I had to do was find a box that fit it. And I had a box that was the exact size.
Luckily, it was the exact size because it was one of those things where I'm the one that found it. And then I was full of regret because I'm like, she's going to sell this. Then I'm going to have to find a freaking box to fit or I have to build one. And luckily, we did have a box that fit just right. Let's see what you sold it for. Oh, did you sell for that much?
I did.
Crazy. You're welcome.
I sold it for $199.95 plus $50 shipping, and it went to California. So the shipping actually only cost me about $35. It was not heavy, but it was pretty big.
Yeah. Nice work. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
I have this jacket. This is like from freaking
oh my god
ago.
We bought this at
forever ago.
An estate sale
in like 2020, very beginning of 2020, because it was when
Kara and
it was like pre-pandemic 2020, guys. Anyway, like in February. And so, but I bought this, I think I got when we went back for a second go around and it was half off. So I paid $15 for it because I remember they had them priced at $30. And so I paid $15 for it. I still have some more, I have like a bunch of Columbia ones. So they've been selling kind of slowly, but I've already more than made my money back, but I still have some stuff from that sale. $107, paid $15 for it, $107. Just kind of a cool 1992 American Airlines. This is actually a pilot jacket, one of the pilots of the balloons. Just kind of a cool jacket, but paid $15, sold it for $107. But yeah, I've had this for a while. Isn't it funny how you know exactly where I got this?
Because I was with you and it was an estate sale. Okay, so this is some of the thrilling stuff. It's a little harder to show you the screenshot. We had to take screenshots of once it sells and stuff like that. So
they don't have the price with them.
They don't have the price. So I'm just going to have to tell you, you're going to have to trust me that this is what it sold for. Okay. Yeah. So this is just a vintage 1990s dress by Shelley Segal. And it sold for $80.
And again, they keep 10% and you get paid every Monday through PayPal.
And they don't do friends and family, so you do get your little percentage taken out of PayPal. So it sold for $80. I paid $4 for this dress.
Nice. All right. Next one for me. Guys, remember this one? So this is one that Jesse sent me a picture of and said he was holding it hostage so that I would come into yesterday's Fits and get some stuff because he knew, of course, I needed this amazing sweatshirt. I paid like $20 for it. It's just a cool cross-country skiing, something that Allison likes to do when she doesn't have a freaking dislocated shoulder. She likes to do her cross-country skiing in Alaska. So that could be her right there. That could be her and Casey right there doing some cross-country skiing. Be.
By the way, did you notice Allison threatened to, get me back in person? So we'll see. We'll see.
Party. Anyway, so
make it happen.
Paid $20, sold it for $150. I would like to also point out that when we left Long Beach, like the next day, Deb sent me a picture. Her and Mel had gone thrifting somewhere. And she found Mel passed up the exact same sweater. Because the things with clothing like this, they'll have this and then they'll have different locations on them. So the one that she had actually says Purgatory. And first of all, Purgatory, pretty cool. Mel passed it up. It was $30, but she passed it up. Deb swooped in, got it, and then the next morning I sold this one for $150. And so I had sent it to Deb and say, show it to Mel. This is why you don't pass up cool ski stuff, man. Anyway, paid $20, sold it for $150, and it. Let's go back to that word, majestic. It is majestic. Pretty awesome. All right, what the heck is going on this thing?
This is just a super big, oversized, fuzzy cardigan sweater. You can't tell from that photo there that it was fuzzy. This is also a thrilling sale. This is has big shoulder pads in it as well. I've had this listed maybe a month or two. I honestly can't remember where I purchased it. So it's either going to be a bins purchase or it was from like Deseret. So either way, it was either like $2 or $4 or $5.
Yeah.
They're not giraffes. It's some abstract looking thing, but it kind of does look almost like a crane or an animal. It's not. It's abstract looking. Anyway, it sold for, I paid less than $5 for it. It sold for also $80.
Nice.
This is like a vintage late 80s-ish cardigan sweater.
Very cool. Nice work. All right, next up, I have this cool vintage 2001 Y2K liquid blue t-shirt, dead stock. I got from yesterday's fits. I bought a couple of them, and I also have one that's got blue skulls on it, and it does glow in the dark. Pretty cool. I paid like $75. I got two of them, so I paid $150 for two of them. And so I still have the other one, but this one I sold for $207. But again, this is something, like I said.
Oh, that looks a cool picture.
I will pay up if I know it's going to sell. And so I like to have some cool inventory. But yeah, $207, paid $75. This is a pretty iconic t-shirt from Liquid Blue. They have some different colorways and stuff like that. Some that are more rare than others, but I like this one. So, all right, next up for you. Ooh, hey, Sailor. Hey there, Sailor.
So this is a 1960s Navy military uniform. It might even be a little bit earlier than 60s, but I think we had dated it to 60s. This was part of my purchase, part of my buyout of the clothing vault. So I had purchased a large number of items. And so this sold on Thrilling for $120. Now, I truly do not know any man that would fit in this. This is so tiny.
Yeah.
That the waist on these pants were maybe a 28, which is like a student size. So I think that this is either going to be someone.
You don't think Britt could squeeze into it?
Maybe Britt. Maybe Britt if he didn't eat pizza for a week. But super tiny. So I'm thinking this is either going to look super fashionable on a woman, or somebody younger is wearing this for a costume, or I don't know. But it's very, very tiny. Very tiny.
Yeah.
But anyway, it sold for $120, and I've had it listed for quite a while. I've had it listed for close to a year.
Nice. Very cool. Jacob says Gilligan core.
There we go. That's the first one of the day.
All right. Next up for me is this moderately boring Harley Davidson 3D emblem shirt. There are some 3D emblem ones, especially the ones that have like the hogs on them. Some of them sell for a ton of money. I don't think they're as popular as they were a few years ago, but I got this one because it was a nice big size. It's actually, I think, a 3X. But the really weird thing about Grail, even though it's a streetwear site, is they literally only go to 2X. I don't know why. So it actually was a 3XL. But I think I paid like $50 for this. Maybe $50, and sold it for $198. So, and again, it's not even like that exciting of one. It's just an eagle on it. You know, there's eagle t-shirts are a dime a dozen. So I was pretty stoked to get $198 out of it. What do you think?
That was a really good price. What'd you pay for it again?
I paid like $40-50 for it. All right. What about this?
So this was one that I've had this listed for at least a year as well. So this is just a vintage 1960s trench coat, black leather trench coat with a mink collar. That is a real mink fur collar. It is This coat is gorgeous. I've had this listed for every price under the sun over the last year. I've sent out a bazillion offers. It's on 5 freaking platforms. This sold for $160 on Thrilling. And this was also part of my buyout of the clothing vault. So I've had this for quite a while, and not a lot of money invested in it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful coat, actually, Lori. This is one that I would have kept if it fit me. But it was a medium. I couldn't button it.
Dana says they love them some leather and fur on Thrilling.
Good to know.
So pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. My last one is just this Mercari sale.
Pigs. If you like pigs.
If you like pigs. If you like cows. Anyway, this is actually a shirt I picked up from Barry. It was when he brought a bunch of stuff over here for me to, it's always nice when somebody brings the store to you. And so he brought a whole bunch of stuff. And this one, I think I paid like $25 for it. I still don't know what this is from. I think it's just from some art display or something. I don't know. I couldn't find any information on it. But I paid like $25 for it, sold it for $84. So whatever. It's a cool shirt. I think it's cute. Look at the cute little pigs with all the different patterns. And that's it. That's all I got for.
That's all you got?
That's all I got for sales highlights for the last couple of weeks. Seriously, guys, I've been selling a lot of just real mediocre stuff that's kind of like, meh, whatever. Meh, whatever.
Meh.
Oh, and Dana says the leather fur coat that you gave her from the Clothing Vault sold for $408. What in the what?
Apparently, I'm very generous.
What in the what? That's ridiculous. All right. Go ahead.
All right.
What you got?
So I'm just going to show a couple of things. Like I've been talking about, my weekly buys that I pick up from this woman that seem to be never ending. I'm telling you, 75 to 100 items a week. Poor Crystal is so sick of listing BCBG shit. I think she's going to stab herself in the eyeballs. I'm sick of selling it. But the reality is, I don't know how, I don't know why, but it is selling. Not as fast as I'm buying it, but it is definitely selling. But I wanted to just talk about some of the things that are selling. So if you are looking to buy items that are in the 90s or the Y2K era, the items that you want to stick to, as far as dresses or BCBG or what have you, or different brands and styles, what is back and what is selling are things that are like slip dresses and the handkerchief hems and the very tiny halter dresses and things like that. That is what is selling right now. And I think that that's what we're going to see trending through the end of this year and into early next year. So this is I just pulled 3 little tops that I know are going to sell for $30 to $40, and I've been selling them, and I have quite a few of them. So these little tops that we were wearing in the 90s and early 2000s.
I totally wore that in the 90s.
All right. Some of us were wearing. But this little top right here that has these little satin triangle cups, and it's sheer, and it has this little halter top with these little beads that hang down the back that ties around the neck. This type of thing will sell. This will sell for $40. It's not an everyday thing that you're going to find, but if this is the type of stuff that you're looking into, this is what's hot right now. This is what's going to sell on Depop or on Etsy or even on Thrilling. This type of 90s and Y2K fashion is in, and that's what's selling fast. That as fast as I can list these types of dresses, they're selling for me. They're not selling for $75 or $150 or whatever, but this is fast vintage fashion, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I talk all the time about my vintage stuff that I sell and that I'm used to keeping it long haul. And if it takes 6 months or it takes 9 months or it takes a year to sell, I'm fine with that. Well, this stuff I'm bringing in such large quantity, and I have so little invested in it at $4 an item that I'm just trying to churn it fast. And because I'm willing to accept lower prices, this is selling on every platform that I have that I sell on. And I'm easily selling everything for the $30 to $40 range. And what happens to be selling is I'm seeing a pattern. What is selling is the 90s and Y2K stuff that is this silky type of layered dresses and halters and tops like that, like this type of thing. This will easily sell.
Did somebody make a shirt out of their belt?
This will easily sell in the $40 range. And this is another one. This is just White House black market. Again, not something I would normally pick up, but if you're able to get this stuff cheap enough, This is a little corset type of top, but it has the halter straps that come with it that are like multicolored, black and white, that tie around the neck and have all these little beads and things. Like, this is the kind of stuff that will sell fast. It's got this little loose layered hem. This is the kind of stuff that I would have passed on normally, because I would pass on it in a thrift store because it's going to be $7-8 in a thrift store. But I've been picking these things up in huge quantities already done for me from my buyer that I buy from, the seller that I buy from. So that kind of stuff, like, for whatever reason, is really popular right now. So I just wanted to let you know this is not the type of trends that you would normally see elsewhere. And it's probably the type of stuff that, like me, you might pass up on normally. But if you're finding it and you're finding it cheap enough, pick it up.
Yep.
I just wanted to circle back to this dress. I did show this a couple of weeks ago. I picked this up. I went to a local sale that Dana also went to, that our other friend Dana had told me about. It was just a huge warehouse sale for someone that sold and did costume designing and prop selling and prop designing for like movie houses and things like that.
Extras, stuff like extras wore.
So there was so much. It was so much quantity. It was ridiculous. I went 2 weeks in a row and I spent a ton of money, but there was so much great stuff. Well, one of the things I talked about was that I picked up this dress and I showed this, and it's kind of like this white and off-white, really pretty dress in like linen with all these multiple layers on the skirt. And I was like, I picked this up because I knew it was vintage and I knew it was really pretty and I knew it was well made.
And how much were you going to sell it for?
And I paid $4 for it.
And how much were you going to sell it for?
And I probably was going to sell it for like $75 or so, just because based on the style, it's very romantic, Victorian, cottagecore, pretty, blah, blah, blah.
But then some new shit came to light.
Some new shit came to light.
And what happened?
When Crystal was listing it for me this week, there's no tags or anything in this. When Crystal was listing it for me this week, she was able to find something on the zipper pull. And I wanted to show the zipper pull real quick if anybody can see it. I can't see what I'm doing.
There you go. There you go. There you go. You guys see that? See that? We'll see what somebody says in the chat. Give them a second. And so now, based on what you know about the zipper pull, we'll see who says something in the chat. How much are you going to sell it for now? What are you going to list it for now?
Well, I have it listed for about $500 now. I think it's on sale. There you go. Good job, Danny.
Yep.
Danny, not the clothing lady, grabbed it.
So you're listing it for $500, you said?
I have it listed for about $500 right now. I think it's on sale this weekend because it rolled into a sale, but
so what do you hope to get at least?
I mean, at least $300.
Yeah. So originally you were listed for $75, and then some new shit came to light.
Yeah, and I paid $4. I paid $4 or $5 for it.
Yep.
So thank you, Crystal. I would not have noticed it. But she was, she's really good when she takes photos. She's very thorough, and I knew it was quality. I knew it was nice, and I bought it based on the style, and I would have sold it anyway. But she was able to find it on the tag.
Yep.
So it was pretty cool. I also picked up this dress from that woman, same sale. And this is super tiny, and half of me thinks that this is a Gunny Sacks dress. An 80s Gunny Sacks, early 80s Gunny Sacks, because I've sold one very similar to this. It feels like it, but this also has no tags. So this is super tiny, all lace. So all my keywords for this are going to be grunge and goth and gothic and all of those typical goth prom, all that kind of stuff, because it's black and lacy and it's very pretty. It's really well made. No tags, strapless, but it has some really nice boning and nice construction on it. I do think it might be Gunny Sacks, but I'll never know.
You'll never know.
Yeah, see, she says it's 80s Gunny. I think it's 80s Gunny too. I just sold a very similar 80s one. I think I'm going to.
Will you put it in your keywords?
I think I'm gonna call it as an 80s Gunny. Honestly, it feels like it to me, looks like it to me. And I will probably sell it for like $100 and change. It's not
nice.
It's not a super expensive one, and I paid that one. I paid $2 for because I was trying to round up my purchase for this woman, so she didn't have to give me change that day.
There you go.
Let's see. These are just a couple of bread and butter items I picked up at $5 a piece. This one is just a big muumuu,
Hey, Mrs.
caftan.
Roper.
This is a very Mrs. Roper one. But what this has in the middle is it has that tie inside that you can tie at the waist, which is a really popular style for people that want to define them. I'm just gonna hand that to you, Steph. That one's a little bit more of like a batik, kind of like an Indian.
Is he wearing it?
Yep, Indian pattern, as instead of like a Hawaiian type pattern. This one is just a vintage, like just a cotton summery dress with pockets that has international flags on it
in weird shapes. And
then this is a brand that sells for me every single time when I pick it up. There are many different tags, but this is one. This is an older one. I would say this one's probably 80s or 90s. It's Billa, Billa, Billa. They make these really comfy, usually these crinkly dresses, these flowy sundresses. And then this one is from 80s, 90s. Tiny on the top, but it has a really long, flowy, sheer, like super full skirt. These types of dresses are very popular. I sell them every time in the, the $50 range. So all three of these are very basic that I paid about $5 for, but they'll sell for $50 to $60.
Yes, Lori, the flag one is 80s, made in Hong Kong.
And I can't remember, and Katie couldn't remember if I showed this to you guys 2 weeks ago or not.
Pretty sure you did.
I don't even remember where the heck I picked it up.
Well, I got it. I think I got it at yesterday's Fits, and I gave it to you.
Yeah,
because I'm nice sometimes.
This is just a vintage windbreaker that has all kinds of Jeep patches on it. Racing jacket that has Jeep patches on it from a Jeepers Jamboree. So it's from the 80s, maybe late 70s, early 80s. Big, heavy Y2K metal zipper. I'll probably list this. It's got some stains on it.
Y2K?
Sorry, YKK zipper. I did say Y2K. YKK zipper. I'm going to, actually, this right here, it's not 80s, it's 70s. I'll probably list this, I don't know, maybe around the $100 range and see what happens. And then, you want to go now?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I'm just going to start right off with something inappropriate. This t-shirt, I got this, I went to Barry's storage unit because he had like a bunch of vintage t-shirts, some cool 70s and 80s t-shirts. And actually, Britt beat me to it and bought, I think, like 300 pieces from him. And so I got, I guess, Britt's leftovers. I don't know if he saw this t-shirt and just didn't want to mess with it because it's been chopped, as in the sleeves, the collar, the bottom have been cut off. But I mean, come on, guys. Dana actually says that this could have been her shirt back in the day. But this is an 80s. It says, "May I use your driver's license?" And it's inappropriate. Basically, some white lines of cocaine. So this is definitely somebody's party shirt from back in the day. But it is chopped, no sleeves, no collar, no bottom. But you can tell it's a 50-50 blend. 80s t-shirt. I think it's pretty awesome. I think I paid like $25 for it. Barry gave me some good deals. Whatever. I think it's rad.
Lori says,
shocked. And Lori, yeah, this one's just for Lori. I listed it for $200, and I want to get at least $100 because, come on, it's amazing, and I don't care that it's all chopped up.
No pun intended.
No, well, pun intended. Chopping lines. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Lori's like, I'm like, is that to buy beer?
Yeah. Next up, I was pretty excited when I saw this. And it's funny because I got to see yesterday's Fits, and I was going through all this stuff, and I had set this aside, and then Jesse comes up to me and says, "Hey, did you see that ET sweatshirt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did. It's in my pile." So he knew that I would want this, but this is the 20th anniversary of ET. So that would probably be what, 80, so 2002, 2003, when did it come out? It came out
83.
3, right? So this is Y2K sweatshirt, totally awesome. 20th anniversary. Well, you're not gonna wear it. You got my Pope shirt. and that's all you're getting. And you got my Colorado shirt, and that's all you're getting. You're not paying for this one unless you want to pay me $100.
I don't want it that bad.
Yeah, exactly. So this is awesome. But this will go down as a Y2K shirt. It's on this Santee tag. Super awesome. And you know how I feel about ET. Okay? I love them.
Did you even show your new ET that I bought you?
My new ET. Which one? Where is he? Which one is he? I don't remember now. Oh yeah, that one up there. I'm not going to turn him on because he's too. She got me a really cool ET.
I bought him from Courtney.
The one in the red. But here's the issue. He's a Furby ET. So if you try to show him off, he won't shut up for a while. And so I can't show him to you guys, or else he's going to keep talking. So maybe if I remember, before we actually stop the show, I will have him talk. But
I bought him from
really
Courtney, Bolo Buddies.
Yeah.
He talks and his head lifts up and he give me a hug and
he's a little repetitive. If you know with those Furbies, they get a little, sometimes they're a little weird. And he'll be like, "Time to fly." And then you go to make him fly and he goes, "I feel sick." And it's kind of like,
cute.
Quit telling me to make you fly. Anyway, then I got this cool ringer tee that all it is a lemon with a little line through it. But I will say I had a bunch of, I don't remember if I showed these before. I don't think I did. But I had a bunch of colored ring collar ringer tees like this that were totally stained in yellow. I think I showed some of them last time. This is another one. And I was just like, F it. And I basically threw them all in together, put in a bunch of bleach and a color catcher. And it turned out great. Like, it's definitely
and
faded.
Now it's orange instead of red? What's the color?
No, this one was orange.
Oh, okay.
But this one was definitely faded now, but no more yellow stains. And it's a cool shirt. The little no lemon thing going on. But this one I think I paid like $10 for. But yeah, I did the same thing with this one. You can see like it looks great. It faded a little bit on the collar, but it
original what?
It's a
apple liqueur.
Apple liqueur. Yeah, any way you spike it, you'll like it. But this had like a bunch of yellow stains on it. Now it looks fantabulous. And it's like, it's definitely a little faded on the collar, but seriously, I bleached the crap out of them.
Yeah.
With a color catcher at the same time.
Unwearable without it. So
yeah. It's just tough because they tend, when you have shirts like this, it wants to bleed. And so, but
no, Gail, I don't think anybody knows what the no lemons means. You're not missing something. I don't think anybody knows what it means.
So. I don't think it's the Andy Warhol thing. Maybe it is. See, and here's another one. So you can see how super faded it is, but I just bleached the crap out of it.
What's that one say?
And this one's like some tire company, but it says you can say no to drugs. So I got this from Barry again. And this one I paid $25 for this one because of the whole say no to drugs thing. This one I thought was interesting because there are a lot of Sunkissed t-shirts on eBay, vintage Sunkissed t-shirts, but this one's interesting. It's an 80s one, and this is an orange Screen Stars tag, which you don't see very often. But what's cool about this one is it's in Spanish. So if you go look on eBay and look at other Sunkissed t-shirts, they look just like this, but they are not in Spanish. And I can't remember what they say. They say something, but this translates to basically just orange soda. But really cool shirt. Love it. I think I paid like $15 for that one. And then I bought a bunch of art tees from Barry, and I paid $20 a piece for these. I actually got two of this one. It's just like a photography from the 90s. This guy who's a not famous photographer, but a somewhat known photographer. Just a cool cowboy rancher kind of t-shirt with a horse.
1992 Martin H. Schreiber.
So I actually got two of those ones. But again, I paid $20 for them. I think I've listed for $100.
See, Tommy says, make up your mind. Selling drugs or say no to drugs. Stick with one niche.
That's pretty funny. This shirt I thought was really interesting because it's an Olympic shirt, but it says Swim Atlanta, 1988 champion.
Why is there such a big space between the S and the W?
I don't know. National Junior Olympics, Southern Regions. And then on the back, it says Way to go, Doug! Seoul Olympics 1988. And when you look up the Olympics, there was a guy named Doug who swam in the Olympics. I think he got like a bronze medal or something like that. So I think this is his, like maybe his family made t-shirts.
His family and his
way
friends.
to go, Doug! So it's just a weird shirt. I think it's kind of cool. This one, it's fun when you get shirts like this because you got to figure out like what the heck does it mean? Like that lemon one. I don't know what the lemon one means, but this one I think people will find interesting, especially those of you from Texas might know what this is. So it says Blue Law, it's got the line through it, and then on the back it's Handy Dan. Let's bust the Blue Law. So the Blue Law, for anyone who's not from Texas, was basically the state of Texas made it so that there were certain things you couldn't sell on Sundays.
That's not just Texas.
Okay, but this is specifically for Texas.
Oh, okay.
They called it Blue Law, and this guy or this company, Handy Dan, they basically went to court over it. I think they might have even just started selling the stuff they weren't supposed to be selling, and then it became a lawsuit, and they were able to get, I think, the Supreme Court to rule in their favor that they should be able to sell the things. And I don't know I know alcohol obviously is one, but there are other types of things that for whatever reason
cars,
you can't sell.
Alcohol, lots of things. It was the same thing in New England too. Almost all the New England states was the same thing.
Yeah. But I think probably for, like in Oregon, you can't buy, or at least you used to not be able to buy liquor on Sundays, but that's only because they're state-run stores. They just weren't open on Sundays. But
well, no, that was New England. You couldn't buy alcohol on Sundays until like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're not state run. So it was like, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Anyway, so this Blue Law was specifically for Texas, and it's just kind of cool. That happened like in the early mid 80s. It was like 84 or something like that. So just kind of a cool shirt, little piece of history.
Yeah, Kimberly. I wouldn't want to claim living in Texas right now either, hon. Let me know if you ever need to get out.
All right. More art tees. This is a cool tennis one. They're on these artware tags. These are from the 90s. Again, I paid $20 a piece. I bought a bunch of them. I paid $20 a piece for them, and I have them listed at 100. But I hope to get like at least 70. Again, here's another one. It's another tennis one. Same artist. This one actually has the tags on it and everything. This one I appreciate just because I think it's funny to me. It's a bunch of beavers, and it says "Leave it to beavers." Little beaver art tee. There you go. You like that? You like beavers? You don't like beavers? Why do you hate beavers? Why are you a beaver hater? It's very rude. All right, why don't you go ahead and I'll finish up with my last little stack here.
All right, so I had some bins finds that were pretty good. So one of them is this little, oh crap, I'm going to have to get my notes to say what they are. Hold on. Because.
Well, luckily, Crystal's in the chat, so she can help you.
Okay, so this is made by Blizzard. This is from Bin, so I paid like 25 cents from him.
And what's Blizzard?
Blizzard is a video game company. So he's a Carbot Zergling plush, StarCraft's Carbot. Anyway, whatever. I paid like 25 cents for him. He should sell for like 100 plus.
What?
Right?
What?
Weird. And thank you to Crystal and her child for the identification of a lot of this crap, because Jake is a big gamer. And there were a couple that my daughter helped with as well, because my daughter is a gamer. So this is a custom made thing. Again, I paid like 25 cents for this. This is a custom made thing from League of Legends called a Voidling. This thing will sell for like about $100 as well.
What?
Somebody made these on Etsy. This one was made on Etsy. I don't know. I just bought them because they were cool looking. The Blizzard one I bought because it said Blizzard. Yeah. It was a video game thing. The other ones I bought because they were weird. Do I just pick up weird looking stuff? Yes, I do. Yes. That's exactly. Yes. And as a matter of fact, Gail, I left behind a few that I regretted that I didn't pick up because they were probably from the same person's collection. And
why didn't you get them?
I don't know. I'm an ass.
You're full of regret.
Full of regret. Now, the only reason I'm going to show these two is because there were others as well. They weren't worth quite as much, but those are already listed. I'm going to show these two because these are two that nobody can figure out what the heck they go to. So in case I have some weird gamer people or some uber nerds in here that know what things are, that happen to be watching this, go ahead and comment if you happen to know what this is. But this one is a flying eyeball. I'm going to assume a flying eyeball with like bat wings, but it also has a tail.
Yeah.
There's no tags.
It's the
This
optic
could have been
nerve.
this could have been a custom. Some of these could be custom plushies that were made for like like fan art for video games. If that's a common thing, which I did not know until I started looking these things up. We have not been able to find that one anywhere, and I've had a bunch of people looking for that one. It's not Monsters Inc. It's not anything Disney related. And then the other thing that we've looked up is this one. This thing is not Digimon. This is not Pokemon. We cannot find what this dragony looking thing is from. So, here's his head and his weird eyes and his little dinosaur nose. And then he's got these weird claws. It's definitely, not definitely, but some type of video game thing. And the only reason I'm not chucking these things is because the ones that we do have and have identified are valuable. Yeah. So I sure thought it was a Pokemon character, but my daughter is a Pokemon nerd, and she assures me it's not. It's not a Digimon, Guialman. I don't know. I looked that shit up too. I don't know. Anyway, if anybody happens to know what these two are, that's why I'm putting this out here into the universe. Those are the two we can't figure out. Paid a quarter or so each. Yeah, Gravity Falls has the flying eyeball. Let me write that one down. I think that was one of the ones I looked up, but I'll double check. That's possible. Thanks, Danica. All right, so another thing I picked up at the bins, I got these this week. I picked up 15 of these. I'm only going to show you one because it's all that really matters, but I picked up 15 of these leatherette bound library edition of these, not library edition, but like for your library. Louis signature edition, Louis L'Amour, the Western writer. There's probably several hundred of these out there. Unfortunately, there were only 15. They came in a book, and there's a bunch of collections. They're called the Louis L'Amour collection. They sell for like, bought 15 of them. The lady charged me $2 for the entire box of them.
Nice.
Really they were from the bins. Yeah, I don't even, the spines are not cracked. They probably were purchased and then never read, and they were just put on a shelf somewhere. So I think I can get about $100 or so for all of them if I just sell them all together. Most people are selling them for like $10 to $15 each, which is not.
That's a nice little set,
I have no interest in doing that. I will probably try to sell them all together for like $100, and then do free shipping, and the shipping will probably be like $15. Media mail.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think Von Dutch either, Jacob, just because it's I do think it's from a video game, just because everything else was. Crystal says it's not Gravity Falls. Jill says it looks like the eye bat from Gravity Falls. I don't know. I'll look again when we're not on camera, but so let's see. Here's another thing I picked up from the bins. I have washed this, by the way. I picked it up. It was filthy.
Did all the stains come out?
All the stains except one teeny tiny one came out.
So cutie.
This is
chubby.
It's a Squishmallow. This is a Catacorn Squishmallow, but it's a huge one. So I paid, again, by the pound, and this probably weighs maybe 2 pounds. It's just huge. So
maybe you paid like $5 for it.
Maybe $4 or $5. It's $1.49 a pound. Maybe $3 to $4. This particular one sells for about $100 and change. How did I wash it? I threw it in the washing machine.
Yep. Did you treat any of the spots?
Yep. I treated a couple of spots. I threw it in the washing machine, and then I threw it in the dryer.
Nice.
So
it's ginormous.
Right in the washing machine. It's a stuffed animal. That's it. And it came out perfectly clean. I mean, the ears have cardboard in them, so the ears are a little bit wonky, but it was either that or it was filthy and not worth selling. So what am I going to do with it?
Cheryl is going to be excited about these next couple of things you're going to show.
Yes, it is a top load washing machine. Yeah. So I don't have there's no agitator. Let's see. This is also from the bins. So I think I only paid a couple of dollars for this. This is shearling on one side. It's it has a made in the USA tag, but it has no brand other than it says made in the USA. But it has a vintage. I don't know why I'm holding this so close because I have not washed this and it was at the bins because I know it's going to run. It has a vintage New England Patriots patch on it.
Nice.
So this is just a smaller throw blanket. It's not huge. It's a vintage acrylic blanket. No. Why would you like to?
Really. I don't know. We'll see.
But I think I'll probably have it listed for I'll probably sell it for like $75. Patriots fans are rabid, although, they're not as super happy anymore because there's no Brady and the team is not super exciting anymore, but whatever. It's a nice blanket. It does need a sweater shave, but I never do that for blankets. Katy sometimes likes to use the sweater shaver because she finds
how it'll work on that because it's pretty big pills.
She finds it very therapeutic.
Yeah. There needs to be like a big difference before and after. Sometimes you get those sweaters that it just doesn't really work, and then it's not as satisfying.
Okay, so I picked this up from that prop estate sale. This is pretty actually. I really like the colors on this. If I didn't think these things were so gross and scratchy, but this is a vintage 1950s mohair lap blanket.
It's really pretty.
It's really, really pretty colors in teal and chocolate brown. It has the tag on it. It is actually made in Scotland. 100% mohair, made in Scotland.
Fancy.
And this will probably sell I paid $5 for it, and I'll list this for $125 or so.
Yeah, Jamie, sweatshirts are my favorite thing to do the sweater shaver on because sometimes you'll get a sweatshirt that is so beyond pilly, and then it's they just magically disappear, and it looks like a whole new item. It's awesome. I love it. Listen to some podcasts. I'm like,
oh, Danica's looking all this stuff up here. What is this called? Flying eyeball with a tail and game
over soul.
All right, I'm
I'm
writing these down so I can look.
All right.
Okay, and then this is my last thing to show, and this is also from the bins, but this has been washed. This is kind of heavy, so I probably paid closer to I don't know what, maybe. It's probably 5 pounds, so I probably paid $7 or so for this. But this is a vintage twin size Tommy Hilfiger. So 90s-ish Tommy Hilfiger. Denim comforter. And it's pinstripe on one side, full denim on the other side.
It's funny.
It's in beautiful condition. And these sell for at least $100 as well.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I don't mind.
Crazy.
I don't mind selling the blankets.
Yeah.
And I'll charge shipping on that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice denim comforter. I think that would look really nice in a boys' room or a girls' room, depending on how you decorate. Yeah. It's a really nice thick comforter too. It's really well made, not cheap at all.
Heavy.
Let me see. Someone says, I have a stuffed animal puppet that has a lot of pilling. What was the product you used to get rid of him?
It's just a
sweater shaver for pilling.
I mean, I wouldn't say there's one in particular that's amazing, but the one we got is on Amazon, and it's just
I think it's linked down below.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's linked to our storefront down below.
Yeah, probably. All right, let me finish up my last few things. I got this 80s. It doesn't have a tag, but I can tell it is an 80s from partial tag that's on there. But this is from the 80s. It's a Supercross, motocross, and that brand, I can't remember if it's CZ. I think it's CZ. That's an actual brand of motocross, I think, parts and motorcycles. But I love the colors on this. It's in great condition. Again, I think I paid $15 for this from Barry, if I remember correctly. But just a really cool, super cool graphic in great condition. And I probably listed that for $100 just because it's a specific brand on it. And I don't think that, I'm not entirely sure if it's even a brand that exists anymore. But so at the time, if somebody was super into motocross, supercross, you might want to pay up for it. This one, I don't know what this is. It's got the little trademark TM on it, but I still like it. It says Native Earthling on the front. And then on the back, it says Educating the Inhabitants. So I'm not really sure what this shirt refers to. It's interesting because it's single stitch. It's definitely a 90s shirt. But I've never seen this tag before, and it says made in Nepal. So it's just kind of interesting, but I could tell by the construction of it and the way the collar is and the hem and everything that this is definitely was from the 90s. I just don't know what it's referencing, and I couldn't find anything looking it up, but it's got the little trademark on the front and the back. So whatever. But I think I already listed it for like $100. Hope to get like 70 just because I think the graphic is cool with the earth on it and everything, but who knows what the heck it means. If somebody out there knows, or maybe it's nothing. I don't know. This one, speaking of weird, strange things, I don't think you've seen any of this stuff, have you? Mm-mm. This one is such a weird shirt. So they sell like pharmaceuticals. They'll have like promo.
I think I did see that
because I think I showed it in our private chat. Pharmaceuticals, they will have promo shirts for different medications, and it's always just kind of a little weird. Like, oh, wear the shirt for
what
blood
kind of
pressure.
promo shirt do they have for Viagra?
Right? I don't know. It's a little weird. But anyway, so just in general, it's like who's wearing pharmaceutical shirts for just random medications? But this one's especially weird, which I think makes it kind of awesome because this is infant gastric distress. So I don't know, is this for like when you have an infant that's got like, I don't know, diarrhea or something?
Colic?
Maybe, yeah.
Gastric distress is colic in an infant.
Vintage gastric distress, and it says shush. What does it say? Shush infant gastric distress. It's called Levsin, which is hyoscyamine sulfate.
It's gassy babies.
So babies who fart a lot.
No, it's babies that when they have upset tummies and they can't fart, you move their legs around.
Okay, so it's for making babies fart. Anyway, and it's got this funny little weird intestinal creature, as you can see, that's like intestines right there. Some angry intestines. But like, what a bizarre shirt. Who's wearing this? I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Who the hell is wearing that? I think I probably
listed it for like a couple $100 or something like that. Because
pharmaceutical plush sells well. And you know what also told me sells well? It was Leslie told me that pharmaceutical like pens and like other weird promo stuff sells well. So you never know.
This one though, it's so bizarre. I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's weird that they even make these.
It's a very weird thing, right? Pharmacore. They're funny.
Anyway, some more art. Here's another artware one. This one's from 1992. This is AMFAR, which is American Foundation for AIDS Research, and it says "Together for the Cure." And it's got like the microscope. It's just kind of interesting. Early 90s AIDS research, kind of an interesting art tee. Again, pay $20 for those. I think I listed that one for $100. This is also one of my favorite ones that I got from that particular haul, because this is like a vintage luxury eyewear, 80s eyewear t-shirt. I had another one, I can't remember what the brand was, that I sold for like $100. So
that's fun.
I think I have this listed for $200. Now I listed for $200, but I'm hoping to get at least $100 for it. Just kind of a cool. I put this up on Instagram because our friend Flo, who sells the vintage eyewear, I knew she'd be digging this shirt.
I could see her wearing that.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I'm realizing as I'm watching this show that I think I need to get Botox before the remix.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you get some Botox?
Yep. Dana, let's go. Let's go get some box.
Maybe do it a few weeks beforehand so that
I don't have Victoria Principal face.
Or if there's any issues, you don't come with your entire face covered in a bright red rash. Anyway, ruby slippers. There's no place like home. This is from the National Museum of American History, the Smithsonian.
I've seen them.
This one
at that
very
exhibit.
Cool. Not worth a ton of money, but I think I have it priced up anyway, because who knows, it'll probably sell to like overseas or something. And then the last thing is this cool Doors t-shirt with Jim Morrison. In the back it says, "I am Lizard King. I can do anything." And this is like a Y2K one. This is from 2003. So 2003 shirt, but nice big graphic on the front. I think I paid like $30 for this, but it won't sell. Maybe I'll be able to sell for $75. And that's it.
That's good. All right, Dana, we're going.
That's it.
I need a chemical peel and some Botox. Let's go.
That's it. Danica says you don't need Botox.
Danica, flattery will get you everywhere. My new best friend. I love you. But yeah, I need it. I need something.
I just, you know what I do? Be youthful.
Yeah, suck it.
12 forever. That and lots of lotion.
It's not going to work much longer.
So rude, you don't know.
Danica's like, but let's go.
All right. Hey, Botox. Cheryl says, "Leave your face alone." Botox is not permanent, so it's like of all the things that you can do pharmaceutically to your body for anti-aging, I would say Botox is one of the
Yeah,
least,
I'm not worried
because
I've never done it before, guys.
it
by
wears,
the way,
it wears off. It's not like getting fillers or plastic surgery. Like it wears off. It's like, you know, it's not the worst thing that you can do. So why not just inject some botulism into your face? I don't see the problem.
Why
I don't
not?
see the problem, man. Anyway,
Jill's like, I was 12 forever until I wasn't. Exactly.
You don't know.
I need a little something. Let me tell you something. My best friend has been going for years and he still looks like he's 12 and I hate him. Every time I go home and visit him, I go, you still look the same and I have aged and he has not.
I'm very useful.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sick of us looking like there's a 15-year age difference instead of a 4-year age difference. All right, guys? Anywho, on that note, thanks for joining us on another Sunday afternoon.
Let's get this little guy. All right. I'll show you this guy just because you gotta do this now because he's not going to shut up for like the next 15 minutes.
Tell Courtney she is my other new best friend.
So he's super cute. He is super cute. Now this is from, I think, early 2000s, right? No. It's a Furby, or is it 90s?
He's from
the 90s.
Beautiful day, learn, play, new friend. Oh, not home to.
What's he saying?
Oh, new friend.
He's saying hi to his new friend.
Hi, new friend. How's it going?
Oh.
See, now he's sick again. He's always getting sick.
Oh, not home to.
I don't know.
Oh, not home.
All right, ET, you got. Are you ready to shut your mouth? Shut your mouth. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We'll try to be here next Sunday, but most likely
we will be.
Unless you decide.
And I'm going to drag my daughter onto the show next Sunday.
Mm-hmm. See?
Looks like best time to fly.
Looks like it's time to
fly. He just
went
up. He's flying.
Love to fly.
He loves to fly.
Not feel good.
See, he tells you to make him fly, and then he's sick. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Thank you for hanging out with us. Now I guys have to make ET shut the F up. But he is really, really cute. And thank you. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.
Oh, little different.